What's up, guys? Welcome back to my personal finance channel. My name is kyledipeppe, and today, per someone's request in the comments, actually, I'm going to be talking about avoiding impermanent loss. So basically, let's just jump right to it. I'm going to be using Francium, which is a protocol on Solana. It is a leveraged yield farming protocol. Basically, you can do liquidity providing in liquidity pools. It aggregates like Radium, Orca liquidity pools, and puts them basically all on the same platform where you can then use leverage to get an even higher APY. So very simple. Let's jump right into it. So Francium, I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. I use Phantom, just personal preference. Good UI, easy experience with them. So I've stuck with them. I can see my NFTs. I can see all my positions. It's fantastic. So while it's connected, you can see I have this position. I just put this on for the sake of showing you guys what is going on. So I deposited 500 USDC into the cave-usdc liquidity pool. And basically, I don't know if it's Francium or maybe Radium, whichever one. Either way, I don't have to deal with it. They handle making sure there's an equal dollar amount of cave and USDC to create LP tokens to provide liquidity within that pool. So that's kind of behind the scenes, don't have to deal with it. But when that happens, it is that position is entered at a certain ratio, right? So the ratio right now, if we pull up Cave on CoinGecko, you can see Cave is trading at 3.51. So it would be 3.51 US dollars per one Cave, right? So that's the ratio. So when I deposited money into this pool, that was the ratio I deposited at. What happens is Cave obviously trades, and so does USDC. But in this case, USDC, which I'll get to in a little bit, keep that in mind, is a stablecoin. So that's not going to change. But what can change is Cave. Obviously, USDC could change. It might trickle up and down a little bit. But for all intents and purposes, it's a stablecoin. It stays stable. It's $1, right? $1 is $1, $1, one USDC, whatever. So the ratio, though, can change. If Cave trades to $5, now the ratio is 5 USDC for one Cave, right? So based on that ratio changing while I have money deposited in this liquidity pool can affect me in what is called impermanent loss. So one way to avoid impermanent loss is by using, or I guess going after liquidity pairs where one is a stable coin. And I guess you're not really avoiding impermanent loss, but you're helping to minimize the risk of it because only one token can fluctuate. So the way you're minimizing that risk is if you also then look at a pair where you're more confident in that token. So let's take Sol USDC, for example. If we scroll down, you can see the first pair here is Sol USDC. If I'm very bullish on Sol and I think that it's going to go higher or maybe trade flat for a little bit, but eventually go higher, I might put my money into this because I will not be risking liquidation on a 3x leverage yield farm because I think that it's either going to stay flat or go higher. And obviously USDC is stable, right? So I only have to worry about one token prices fluctuating. So one way to help avoid or minimize risk of impermanent loss, especially in a negative way, is by using a basically stable coin pair. There are some pairs where it might be like Sol, Orca, things like that. And then you have to worry about both tokens moving. And as they price diverge, you can suffer from greater impermanent loss. So with this, it's just easier to keep an eye on. It's easier to, I guess, understand if you're looking at Sol, which is something that you might understand better than some other random token like Crypto Caveman. But the point is, I just have to monitor the price of Sol. If it starts going down, obviously my equity position, or up here you can see your equity value, this would start going down. If Sol goes up, or in this case, if Cave goes up, my equity value would go up. It's very simple, very straightforward. Now, even if Cave or Sol goes up, in the case of a Cave USDC, Sol USDC pair, you can still suffer from impermanent loss. And the reason for that is when you go to withdraw, you're withdrawing based on the current ratio of Cave to USDC. So if that ratio changes from the time that you entered, even if Cave goes higher, you can suffer from impermanent loss. And the example is that if Cave goes up 5x, your position might only go up 2 or 3x, right? And that's because your part of your position is in USDC. So you're not I guess exposed to that full price appreciation, that 5x that Cave did, because part of your position is in USDC. Whenever you enter a position, although it's nice and fine and dandy, Francium, Orca, a lot of these protocols actually on Solana allow you to just deposit one of the two tokens in a trading pair, or you can deposit both. But like, for example, I only deposited 500 USDC. But on the back end, what you're not seeing is they automatically convert it to be equal amounts, equal US dollar amounts of Cave and USDC to create that liquidity on both sides for this market. So the idea, though, is even if you're exposed to that impermanent loss, say it goes up 5x and your equity value only goes up 3x, and you're like, why did it only go up 3x when Cave just went up 5x? The reason is impermanent loss. And by taking on that risk, you're being rewarded with APY. So in this case, you can see here I've farmed 16 cents since I put this position on, like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago. And the total APY is 1.49 million % APY, which is crazy because Cave is a very volatile token. It's new, and they're also paying crazy high emissions. You can see that yield farming is 901%. The trading fee is 103%. So the total APR is 974, which is compounded every like 15 minutes. As you can see, auto compounding per 15 minutes. And that farmed APY is supposed to help make up for some of that impermanent loss risk. So if Cave stays flat, I'm still earning yield. If Cave goes up, my equity value also goes up, but not by as much as if I just held Cave token. And the reason is I'm effectively holding half Cave, half USDC, but I'm getting 1.4 million % APY currently. So I can help sort of mitigate some risks of the impermanent loss by trading or depositing money into a liquidity pair where I understand or maybe know or have a better projection as to where I think the token that can change will change. So for example, Sol USDC might be a better example. I can still earn 2,000% APY, and I have a better understanding or grasp of where Sol might trade based on sentiment and people building on Solana and my own theses or whatever. But then by picking also liquidity pairs where one is a stable coin, you only have to worry about that one token price fluctuation. Now, obviously, there's impermanent loss whether or not Sol goes up or down. But if Sol goes up, I still see appreciation in my equity value because part of my position is in Sol tokens, or in this case, in Cave tokens. I deposited $500 with 3x leverage, which means that I basically have a $1,500 position on, which is 210 Cave tokens and 752 USDC tokens, or 416 LP tokens. So you can see this breakdown in the position right here. So what this means is if Cave goes up 5x, I only have 210 Cave tokens rather than, a full $500 worth, or I guess 500 with 3x leverage worth, because I'm not just buying Cave tokens at 3x leverage. So this is where the impermanent loss comes in. It's basically the ratio between your tokens, but by having one stable coin, it helps to, I guess, minimize or in some cases avoid impermanent loss. You're still exposed to it, but to a lesser degree because only one token can fluctuate. So then the next thing, ways to, I guess, sort of help monitor it are on Francium and something also like Tulip. They're fantastic because, as I showed you, you can see how much you deposited. On Tulip, I don't know if they show you what you deposited, so you would have to remember that, but they both show your equity value. So you can basically look at your equity value, know how much you deposited, and I can see, well, I've already suffered from some impermanent loss, but this also might be some fees that I paid to enter the position. So it's obviously minimal right now, but I have farmed 18 cents. So basically, you would subtract out 18 cents from this equity value, and then you would know that that's how much impermanent loss, some of these might be fees, but in the long run, impermanent loss you've suffered. So you can keep an eye on it and monitor it easily in these platforms because it shows you your equity value, and in Francium, you can see how much you deposited. So that's a great way to keep an eye on it. Now, if you want to go and exit this position, all you have to do is click withdraw, and you can basically withdraw in USDC, withdraw in Cave, or minimize trading. So it will choose the lowest like coins that it has to trade between to get out. So in this case, it would give you 140.33 Cave tokens. But if you wanted to withdraw in USDC, you can see that you might pay some fees from those transfers between tokens. So it's not minimizing trading. And therefore, I would only get $497.34 or USDC rather than my equity value, which is $498. So I'm paying some fees for those extra trades that might take place. But here you can see that if I were to withdraw right now, I could get it back $497. Therefore, I suffered from some impermanent loss, even after earning some fees. But that is, I guess, some ways to avoid or minimize impermanent loss, as well as ways to monitor it. And then obviously when you want to withdraw, you just click withdraw, convert to USDC. You can do 100%, or I could say I want 50% of my money back, which is, just under $250. You click withdraw, and all you do is approve it in your wallet, and you'll have the USDC back in your wallet. It's very easy to withdraw from these platforms, and then you would just have half your position on. So quite simple, quite straightforward. You can see my interest accrued. I just went up to 21 cents here. Super exciting stuff. But yeah, you can monitor your equity value. You can see how much you deposited by using a stablecoin pair. You can help sort of lessen or make it one less thing to worry about for that impermanent loss. And last but not least, you can choose a token, not Cave, but something like Sol, Solana, or maybe even Orca, more established tokens that you might have a better idea of where that price will be in the future, to help minimize or at least come out on the positive end on that token movement. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave any questions or comments down below. If there's other videos you guys want to see, please let me know. I love making these videos, and I'm actively using a lot of these platforms myself. So if I can provide any help or any more insight or value, please let me know. But either way, that's going to be it for this video. Again, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.